Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skills, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator to see who's the better one when head-on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. Standing on the left corner, the clumsy mate from Nor, a prodigy when it comes to combat. The Mate Mayhem, Felicia! And standing on the right corner, the kind princess of Hoshido, the younger sister of the royal siblings, the gentle Nekomata, Sakura! For those who followed this series from the start, this will be Felicia's second appearance. Her first was against Kagero where she lost badly, but this time something has changed within her. Could Felicia finally get the recognition she deserves? Or would it be the cat-eared Sakura that takes home the title? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, Stats and Skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Felicia has a BST of 147, and Sakura's BST is also 147. It's a draw. What about their rating after weapon and skills? Felicia's total rating is 164 and Sakura is 155. Felicia takes the first point. Next is their hit points. Felicia has 34 HP and Sakura has 33. Another point to Felicia. 2-1. Let's look at their base attack now. Felicia's attack is 23 and Sakura is 32. Sakura scores one back. What about their speed? Who is the faster unit among the two? Felicia has a speed of 37 and Sakura has 34. Felicia scores again. The score is now 3-1. Now, let's look at their defense. Felicia has 18 points in defense and Sakura has 14. The clumsy mate gets another point. Last, their resistance to magical damage. Felicia has a resistance of 35 and Sakura has 34. Another point goes to Felicia. After comparing their stats, Sakura is trailing behind by 4 points. Logically speaking, it's kinda hard to catch up from here on. But let's be optimistic. Anything is possible. For that, let's look at their weapon now. Felicia wields a legendary weapon with her name on it, which is called the Felicia's Plate. It has a might of 14 and damage dealt is calculated using the lower of foe's defense or resistance. If she initiates, it inflicts a -7 defense resistance on target and foes within 2 spaces of target after combat. Not only that, Felicia's Plate could be refined to either gaining an additional effect which grants special charges +1 if foes uses magic, or you could choose to boost her stats instead. As for Sakura, she has Kitty Paddle which has a might of 8. It grants her effectiveness against home user and inflicts a -7 defense and resistance to them after combat if she initiates. Unlike Felicia's weapon, Kitty Paddle cannot be refined. So, who has the better weapon? Both weapons are made to counter mages, but Felicia's Plate is the obvious winner with a higher might and special refined skill. Hence, this point goes to Felicia. Next, we won't be comparing their assist and passive in B since Felicia doesn't have such skills. However, we will still introduce those extra skills of Sakura. Sakura has Reciprocal 8 as an assist. It allows her to swap HP with an adjacent ally, but neither could go beyond their maximum HP. And in passive B, she has Guard. If her HP is over 80% at start of combat, enemy is inflicted with a special cooldown charges -1. Now, let's look at their special. Felicia has Glacis that boosts her damage dealt equal to 80% of her resistance with a cooldown of 4. How about Sakura? She uses Glacis too, so it's a draw. Now their passives. In passive A, Felicia has resistance plus 3 that boosts her resistance against magic damage by 3. On the other hand, Sakura has warding stance that grants her a resistance plus 6 when defending. Whose A skill is better? According to GameAid, warding stance is rated higher than resistance plus 3. Another point to Sakura. Last, let's compare their passives in C. Felicia has Breath of Life, a passive that recovers adjacent allies 7 HP after combat if she initiates. And Sakura? She has Dagger Valor that allows all dagger units in the team to get 2 times SP as long as she's still on the field. Who will get the last point? Once again, by referring to GameAid, Breath of Life is rated lower than Dagger Valor. Sakura gets the last point. And that's the end to round 1. With a score of 6 against 3, the winner of round 1 is none other than Felicia! Interesting result compared to her previous performance. Anyway, let's move on to round 2, head-on fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Krandu. First, we are just going to let them brawl with their default skills and IV with no buff. Let's have a look at the result. It seems no one gets to 1 round KO their opponent, and whoever initiates first will be KO'd in the following turn. With such an outcome, I have to give it a draw for the default fight. How about we give them some skill inheritance? For your information, the build that will be shown might not be the best build for them, but it's optimized for higher kill counts. For Felicia, Felicia's Plate, Swift Sparrow, Desperation, Defense Ploy, Glacis, and an Attack Seal. For Sakura, she has a similar build to Felicia except for her weapon being Kitty Paddle. And the result? Felicia gets to one-hit KO Sakura when initiating, but Sakura couldn't. If you look at the result when Sakura initiates, she nearly could take Felicia down too. All she needs is an attack boon like Felicia, and she could one-hit KO Felicia while initiating. And of course, both of them could avoid being KO'd by having a distant defense seal. So with no clear result in the skill inheritance fight 2, I hereby declare the second round to be a tie. Before we proceed to the final segment, let's look back at the results so far. Felicia has 1 win, 1 draw compared to Sakura with only a draw. The cat ear Miko would need to win the last round in order to avoid a defeat. Could Sakura be able to do it? Or would Felicia finally get a taste of sweet, sweet victory? Let's find out in round 3, Mass Battle. For this segment, we will be using the same damage calculator as round 2 to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Felicia draws 91, loses 89, and wins 44. What about Sakura? She draws 41, loses 122, and wins 61. Sakura has more kills than Felicia, but let's look at their kill rates. And Felicia has the better rate with 40% compared to Sakura with 36.4%. Next, let's have a look at the result if enemy attack first. Felicia draws 95, loses 80, and wins 49. On the other hand, Sakura draws 46, loses 112, and wins 66. Again, Sakura has the higher kill counts, but what matters is their rates. After conversion, Felicia is still leading with 43.1%, which is 3.4% higher than Sakura. So, the default fight goes to Felicia. Now, let's move on to their most offensive build. Could Sakura beat Felicia this time? Let's look at the result. Felicia draws 14, loses 53, and wins 157. As for Sakura, she draws 14, loses 111, and wins 99. It's kinda obvious who is leading, but let's change it to percentage. And Felicia's winning rate is a lot higher than Sakura, a 25.9% difference. What if they defend first? Would the result be the same? And this time Felicia draws 17, loses 80, and wins 127. How about Sakura? She draws 17, loses 118, and wins 89. After conversion, Sakura is still behind with 43.5% compared to Felicia, which has 60.5%. Therefore, the skill inheritance fight again goes to Felicia. But wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I will be getting a lot of comments saying Sakura's role is just to take down mages. It's not fair, you shouldn't let her fight with melee, etc. If that's the case, shall we look at the result if they were to go against tome and staff users only? And here's the result when attacking. When defending, wow, 100% kill rate on foes using magic. I guess Sakura is really a mage killer after all. However, the winner has long been decided. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce the winner of this week's My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours is... Felicia! The Maid of Mayhem finally gets the recognition she deserves with the introduction of a new weapon. However, Sakura is not half bad either. Even though the scoreline shows otherwise, but we all knew that her true strength lies in killing a specific group of enemies. I know it may sound like I'm adding salt to injury, but it's a lot easier to get Felicia and wheel her to a +10 compared to the Halloween Sakura. To be honest, I've lost count on how many Felicia I have sent home before announcing her new weapon. I kinda regret doing so. What's your thought on the result? Who do you think should have been the better waifu? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in a future episode. By the way, in order to increase viewer engagement, I'm going to add a poll for you to decide the matchup. And the final result will be concluded 5 days after this video launch. And the winning matchup will be featured in an episode a week later. You see the small exclamation icon on the top right? Click on that and cast your votes. Here's the winning pair from last week's poll. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours.